What's going on, Facebook followers, everyone? Hope everyone's having a great day out here. Just making this live video from Puerto Rico, my hometown, and it's gonna be really hard for me to do. Really, I don't think I've ever actually shared my story of how I got into fitness and how I got to where I am right now. Really, not fitness, just in life overall, because behind every post, behind every story that I post, obviously there is something going on. There is life. There are different things. So yeah, just creating this just in case anyone would connect with this and would think that would inspire them, because throughout my whole story, throughout this whole trajectory, I've had to overcome many things that have been very hard, including loneliness, anxiety, panic attacks, people talking, saying things that are not right about me, just a lot of things that were hard. But let me start by saying that I grew up down here in Puerto Rico, so this is a very small town that I'm on. If you've ever been to Puerto Rico, if you're from the States, you've probably just been to San Juan and you've seen the pretty side of the island. But here where I'm from, yeah, it's very beautiful, but the resources are just very scarce. When you compare where I'm from to the United States, it's really not much, right? So we didn't really have much going on here besides school and baseball. So I had always been a dreamer. I knew, I saw the situation of my family here. I saw how people were living here, and I always knew that I wanted to do something bigger than just stay here, work in a local store, and kind of do that. So I always had dreams, and I always for some reason I always liked writing my dreams down. And I remember I wrote down, I was just trying to figure a way to get out of being poor by the means. I didn't lack anything. I would always have food and stuff like that, but my family wasn't rich. And I would see people, in TV and stuff like that, just traveling and just, having freedom and just buying things for no reason. And I was like, well, I want that, So I was always a dreamer ever since I was 13 years old. I remember drawing a picture of me playing professional baseball. And I thought, there are two things passionate at me since I was very, very young. One was the gym. I was really into the gym, I was always obsessed a little bit with my body and how I looked. I wanted to be like a WWE wrestler. I wanted to look like Batista, like John Cena and stuff like that. But at the same time, I knew it wasn't possible, right? So I also loved baseball, and that's kind of what I pursued throughout my childhood. So I played baseball. I was really hard worker, training, and by the grace of God, right, I was able to get a baseball scholarship in college. So what that allowed me to do was at 17 years old, I left my hometown, and I was able to go all the way to the States. And it was a very small town called Vernon, Texas. I had no clue what was going on. I didn't know English properly. I could say very few things. I didn't have any sort of income. I didn't have any friends. I didn't have nothing. I didn't know what was going on. All I knew was that I had a dream, and I wanted to go live my, I needed to go for it. Something inside of me told me that I needed to go for it. So I just went for it. I didn't really look back. I didn't care about my friends. I didn't care about anything else but to follow my dreams. Now, obviously, throughout all these things, a lot of things happened, a lot of frustrations, a lot of setbacks. I didn't make the team my first year. Second year, it was a lot of different stuff, not having a car at the beginning, then not having money, then having to find a job, and then having to work and play and find out how to pay for school. And it was just very hard. But eventually I was able to figure things out, play baseball. And at some point, things got really hard, and I had to quit baseball. And that was really hard for me. That was really, really hard for me to quit baseball. That was one of the things that really, really marked my life, in terms of where my life went. So I knew after I quit baseball that I didn't want to. That was the reason I wanted to leave my hometown. Remember, I had a dream. I wanted to have resources. I wanted to have money. I wanted to like live life in better terms. I didn't want to just stay where I was. I didn't want to be someone else, like average person. I wanted more than that. So I came up with a plan B immediately. Kind of when I quit baseball, I was like, well, I'm a little bit smart. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna really focus on school and like nail school and make sure that I get straight A's and I can actually just probably get a good job. So I decided that I was gonna finish my degree in biochemistry. I was doing chemistry. So basically I said, well, chemistry is one of the things that will allow me to find a good job and like have good money. So I just went for that. Figured biology wasn't really gonna help me if I wanted to have a job. So I went for chemistry, and then I had the opportunity to go to grad school. And if you don't know, I was basically just getting a PhD. And so, my life kind of changed all of a sudden from wanting to play professional baseball, wanting to like have a dream of, just getting my family out of the hole and stuff like that, to basically becoming the first person in my family of having like a graduate degree. I know none of my parents have like a bachelor's degree, so I was like, that was a very big accomplishment for both of them, and that my family was very happy. And my mom was very excited that I was getting a PhD, a doctorate's degree in chemistry, and I was going for it. And I was, I wasn't super excited about it. I was happy. I was okay. I didn't hate chemistry, so I could deal with it. But I remember always watching people, that had different lifestyles. And I remember watching my boss, and I remember watching the people around me, and I was like, well, none of these people really have the life that I want to have. And that just got me thinking, and I started looking into different things. I started looking into, business. I got into network marketing. I started looking into different other resources, what ways can I make money online so that I can generate a passive income, because I knew that a job wasn't gonna get it. Like, I was already developing that mentality. And I remember one day, I was at the gym, and I was finishing my workout, and I didn't realize that throughout all this time, there's one thing that had stayed consistent, and that was that I was always going to the gym. Fitness for me was something very important. Like, for me, like eating healthy, going to the gym, like that was something that was embedded in me. It happened spontaneously. I didn't have to think about it. I didn't have to really do much. And I remember that day I was at the gym, I was doing med ball slams, and I was throwing the ball, and I get a text message from someone, I don't remember who, and they asked me a question about fitness. Like, I think I posted a story, and they asked me like, what exercise you're doing, this and that. I remember answering that question and feeling huge satisfaction and being, like, what if I could do this for a living? What if I could actually do fitness for a living? And that's when the idea came to me. I realized, I soon started looking at the industry, and I realized that there's so much misinformation out there. So many people uneducated on these things, and so I really felt compassion, and I felt empathy for those who weren't into fitness like I was, and weren't into like this lifestyle. And I thought to myself that if I could do something that I was really passionate for, and I could really change lives, and could also allow me to live the lifestyle that I wanted and generate the income that I wanted, I would definitely go for it. So that's when I started, researching and putting my fitness business together. At that point, I still had my job. Basically, I was working as a researcher in a lab. And then I found myself more and more into it, doing more research, learning more about it, like really digging into it, to the point where my boss was kind of like, hey, you need to like be at work more and stuff like that, until they finally basically put me on the spot and they say, like, hey, like, you haven't been putting the same amount of work here at work, what's happening? And so they kind of told him, hey, like, I'm starting a business and this is just for me. And so they kind of gave me the option, and they said, you have to choose between your business and your job. And so basically making no money yet. I made no money on fitness. I literally decided that I want to quit my job and do fitness forever. So I had an apartment complex that I was paying like 700 and something. That's pretty expensive for me. At the moment, I was driving a BMW because I had a good job and I was getting paid well, and because the job in itself wasn't like fulfilling me and making me happy, I usually had to go to other things like a nice house, a nice car, to be able to like be happier with myself and feel fulfilled. But then I quit that, right? And then I had no source of income. So the first thing I had to do was I had to sell my car. And basically my lease wasn't up until like 3 months. So I had to, number one, sell my car, and number two, I had to come up with some money to pay for rent for those next 3 months. So I sold my car. I figured out, I got my first couple of clients online. I was able to finish rent. I was able to finish out there in the States. And so I decided that I was gonna dedicate myself and do the fitness business 100%. And came to Puerto Rico because my mom has a house, the same house I grew up on down here. So that's where I'm currently at. I basically a couple of months ago quit my job, left the States because I wanted to save some money, and like just came here to this house in which I don't have a car here, you know, like it's hot, mosquitoes are everywhere. It's just hard. The resources are very limited. Like if you order something on Amazon, it's gonna take like 2 weeks to get here when you have Amazon Prime for no reason. And so that's where I'm at, guys. And like I just wanted to share this because, you know, sometimes we care a lot about what other people might think about us. Like if I make this decision, what's other people gonna say? Or like sometimes we have something that we want to do, something that we really want to follow, something that we really want to pursue, and we don't do it simply because I don't know why. Just because like you're afraid of like failing, you're afraid of like what other people might think, might say, whatever. And like the reality is that you have to think about, at the end of the day, when you're about to die and your last breath, do you really want to look back and say, what if I would have tried? What if I would have done it? What if I would have gone for it? So I think that's been the biggest thing for me. Every single time I'm about to try something, I'm about to do something new, I go all the way to deathbed, and I see myself and I go like, if I was gonna die tomorrow, like what would I do today so I could make the best out of my life, right? So I make decisions just like that. I take risks. I love taking risks. So yeah, I just wanted to share this quick story. I don't want to go too long here. I appreciate for those of you watching. If you have someone that just kind of needs to hear the story, please share. If you connected with this, if you feel connected, like if you feel like you can relate to this story, comment down below, you know, like this story so I know you feel connected with it. Share it with someone that maybe you think would be inspired by this. Yeah, guys. Thank you for, I just needed to get this out of my system and just throw this story out there and like just declare my dreams of like becoming a real big successful coach for, you know, helping thousands of people changing their lives in fitness and like improving their lifestyles and becoming the best version of themselves. So hope this gave you guys, well, this is nothing, just appreciate you guys for like listening, and I'll see you guys in the next video.